Hello everyone, it's Xander here from Xander's Bricks. We're doing it a little bit differently today. We've got a little bit of a almost vlog style here. Today I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a city tour, as this is my last day with the city for a little while as I am going back to college. As you can see behind me, I've got the Lego City in the background there. We've just completed 5 episodes, and actually just yesterday I finished recording that last episode. So you guys have probably seen the cinematic tour by now, and if not, I'll link that in the description as long as I remember. But if you haven't watched all of those city videos, I'd highly recommend going to check them out. While we're here, you may as well take a peek at the hidden side section while we still can. But that's not what we're focusing on today. We're focusing on the Lego City. So I want to give you guys a quick little tour and take a peek at some of my favorite parts, especially of this rebuild this year. So without further ado, let's jump into the city tour. Rebuilding the city was just so much fun this year. I've really enjoyed it so far, and I can't wait to see what we do in the summer when we work on the section over there, hopefully. But obviously, we did so much, it's just so much to take in. Now, one of the first things that we did this year is we put in this new platform, which now houses so much stuff. A new pedestrian area, a new trading outpost section. The diner is here now. One of our half modules are here. We've got a park, we've got new roads, and we even continued the river a little bit. So this whole section is really awesome. And this was originally what was going to house the boutique hotel, but obviously that never happened. So now we have this awesome section. I think some of my favorite parts of this section is definitely the inclusion of the elephants. I'm not sure I love the park fully yet, but I just love those elephants. I'm really a huge fan of this trading outpost section here. The crane is just so cool, and I think that even this bottom area is pretty nice. The pedestrian area is pretty great too, although I would like to improve on it at some point. I still think it's awesome for now. Now, along through the entire thing, we worked on tons of projects and a lot of different steps. Episode 2 wasn't that big, and we ended up adding in our surfer house right there, and we even worked on this trading outpost section originally. Now, the surfer house looks awesome back there. Unfortunately, not a mock, it is a set, but I am really happy with how it looks back there. A few modifications, and it looks quite great. We did modify the trading outpost a little bit, and I think it turned out pretty nice. Otherwise, it's just about the same. Still possibly one of my favorite things, if not my favorite thing in the city. Now, episode 3, we also got some more work done. I can't quite remember how far we got in that episode. I think we worked a little bit more on this section, but we've already covered that. So episode 4 then came around, and we worked on this section here, which was adding in 2 more modulars. So that's right, episode 3 was about adding in space for this boutique hotel. We moved it all around a little bit in the next episode of episode 4, which we added in our police station, and we added in, and I'll show you guys a little bit down here, the Parisian restaurant. So it just stuck out a little bit more. We added in our buildings a little bit forwards, and we even added in a new rock face. And I think this section here just looks so much more complete now. Episode 5 was all about fine-tuning, guys, and I really loved that episode. Getting to add in the lifeguard tower, the forest here, and a few more details like minifigures on our beach here, and just a few more small things. But I was really happy with how that turned out. Now that we've covered all of the episodes, I want to take a peek at some of my favorite things in this rebuild. So let's take a look at those. Let's start with the latest project, and that is the forest. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it looks so much better than the area originally did. The inclusion of monkeys, eggs, the alligator poking his head out, the lions and the lion cub just looks so great. I'm really happy with how the overgrowth on the ground turned out, and how it all molds together. I'm really happy with it, and I think it looks a lot better than before. The Indians are still here, just no more Egyptians with the camel. As we saw before, And like I said, this is probably one of my favorite views in the city now. It just looks so awesome. It's kind of like how this was originally. I still love looking at this angle, but this angle is so cool. The boutique hotel leaning down to that hawk there, leaning down onto these power lines, and our trees and astronauts there, leading down to these beautiful flowers and greenery on the rocks, leading down to the mine, to the water. And I just think this is such a complete view. It's just truly beautiful, and I'm so happy that I was able to capture this in Lego. The continuation of the trading outpost was possibly one of my favorite ideas of this rebuild. Having the thought that they don't only work over there, but they sometimes come down into this section to work a little bit more was so cool to me. And maybe it's not even the same business. Maybe this is a new startup business of some sort, building up some sort of empire to be as good as that trading outpost in the distance. Just really happy with how this section turned out. I love all the small little elements. I just love how he looks in this section. And I still love our cute little cacti. So we've got one there, and we have one over here as well. Yet another small but mighty change into our city this rebuild was adding the dragon onto the Palace Cinema. It used to be in the diner when it was on that side of the city, but now it's on the Palace Cinema, and I couldn't be happier with how it looks. It's so menacing, so cool, and I hope that someday we can get fire added to it. Not to mention we also got some sort of hang glider here going over to continue that wilderness feel. With the amount we worked on this section down here, there's not a whole lot to speak for it. It looks just about the same, but there is still something that I love the most, and I love our rebuild of this tunnel. Although it's all the way at the end of our rebuild this year, it just looks amazing. I love the arcade systems in there. I love the little shops on the other side, and I just love how cute it looks. I'm super happy with how this turned out. Now, of course, there's so many builds and small little details that I love about this city, but one of them that I want to talk about the most, that I think I talk about way too much, is the inclusion of costume minifigures. You can see them just about everywhere, whether they're food, whether they're crayons. I mean, there are so many small little costume minifigures, or just fun figures in general, like this one here, that I just love how they look. You can see them almost everywhere in the city, and they're just doing their own thing, having a fun time, and some of them have been together since the beginning of this rebuild way back when. So I was just really happy to include all of these figures, some new, some old, and some just timeless classics. So I'm really happy to still have those in my city. So, like I said, guys, this is unfortunately my last time in the city for now. And I know this video is going to be coming out in a long time from when I'm recording this, but this is actually one of the last days in January. So that means that we completed this entire rebuild in just a month. And I think that is truly crazy. And I am so happy with how it turned out. Now, if you guys have any suggestions for the Lego City in the summer videos, those will be coming out very shortly, of course, sometime in June or July, so that is something to look forward to. But if you have suggestions for things you want to see in that rebuild, let me know in the comments down below, because I would love your guys' suggestions. We're going to be mainly working on this section over here, but if you have suggestions for the section we just worked on, that works too. Just let me know in the comments down below, and I can't wait to read all of your amazing ideas. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to hit that like, consider subscribing, and like I said, comment your suggestions or ways that I can improve my face cam videos. It does help a lot. But for now, this is Xander saying over and out, guys.